Hey, muy buenas noches, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. And as always, muchísimas gracias to everyone for your guys' words, prayers, and your amazing support. De corazón se los agradezco. Now, to get into the story on hand, as I've been mentioning to you, today I want to start doing profiles of individuals or certain people that they're not in the spotlight, but that in one sense or another, they're real important, right? In Mexico, at least when it comes to that world where everybody speaks. I had numerous people I wanted to start off with, but I kind of want to start off with one that can relate to my life, my doings, and back home, right? So that everybody could kind of, you know, know a little bit of what I'm talking about. For today, I want to talk about Gustavo Rivera, or El P1, as people know him from the Arellanos. When you speak about, you know, EME member or the Pili, Popoy Barone, that the one chicks from Ota was working on here. They always speak about the Arellanos, right? But in reality, they might have crossed words with them, but their boss, direct boss, was this individual. Someone that they were doing things as most of the camaradas that came from Logan Heights. To put a little backtrack on this person, when he started, he opened up his murder squad, if you want to say it like that, right? Which is when popeye came into the picture. As later on, as you guys know, Bat, Marquez, and camaradas from Logan, right? Well, this individual, the ones that been with me, is actually the one that ordered that hit on the whole family in Michoacan. That it was it was known, but he was arrested for, man, thousands of families he actually took care of under the belt of Los Arellanos. Not Ramon and Benjamin like people speak, but he was actually under El Tigrillo, one of the brothers. But nevertheless, he's also the one that called that hit in Guadalajara or Puerto Vallarta on El Chapo that took out the Cardinal. And just to put a little backstory on here, a lot of different angles were given when it came to this hit, but if you're or your family or real known people that were around in them times will tell you the hit was for the Cardinal. There was no buts or ifs, cause in reality it was one of the disguises that El Chapo liked to use state to state in Mexico, right? To basically cover up the sun with one eye, right? And now with this individual, for those that are in the known will know who he is, and those that aren't, do please look into this individual, and you'll see that I'm just wolfing out my net. I do understand from the video I posted on Bat Marquez how people got on and were insulting, and I understand that to the fullest. But you know when the color's blue, you're not gonna call it red, right? So this individual is also the one that was to some sin taking power from Bat because of the gato things he was doing in Tijuas when it came to oficinas and women that were in debt. I'll just leave it open like that. But the most important thing I want people to really circle around is how back home or in Cali, we're always misled to believe, it's Kool-Aid when it's lemonade, right? Cause, and at least in my case, I was always, in the understanding for a lot of years that, Popeye was working for Benjamin. He was his own personal bodyguard, when in reality, he was, Rivera's right hand man. And eventually, they turned their back on Rivera. And this speaks value because literally, when it comes to all the negative things that the Arellanos are known for, this cat right here is the one behind them. When it came to taking out kids, grandparents, family, instead of just putting one to the head of females, they would actually say, let's play with them beforehand, right? And do them acts that, we grew up thinking or are told that it's something negative. But again, that applies, right? Do as I say, not as I do. Cause, do please look into it. All I want to say, it has to be out there. Cause, since 1991, 92, this individual was, the one pulling the strings, right? Eventually, he will get caught. And, without me putting my 2 cents in, he also stated who was the one that was in jail and gave up his location. So, now we go back to my message and what we've been talking about. They permit certain things just because they can bring to the table, right? When in reality, that youngster that's on the streets gets measured by a certain stick, right? Of conduct that in reality, they don't play on there. Because as you guys been seeing lately, it's a bunch of people that snitch, a bunch of violines, that they mess with kids. But, what I wanted to talk about is what's really known here in Culiacan, right? And this does come back to Ramon and El Tigrillo, excuse me. It was, I believe, 93. And it had to do with an old family. I'll just leave it like that. When I mean old, is indígena, right? Indigenous that knew how to work the cerros, which there's a lot, specifically, out here. But they tend to be real good when it comes to grooming flowers, if you guys get what I'm trying to say, up in the Sierra towards Durango. And for a while, El P1 or Rivera, however you want to call it, from the Arellanos, he was known for making deals because Ramon, he was a hothead, right? And everybody knew that. But he was that individual that, I guess, to an extent, when we're all there, we don't really have that value for life, but we tend to hit the brakes when it comes to people that should not be touched. Well, he didn't have that filter. With him, it was whatever made him money, they had to bounce. Kids, grandparents, heck, right? So these people here in Mexico, they tend to, sell their work cheap, and cause in reality, they ain't like the normal people, right? With a little bit, they could go far. But this individual, not only was he getting prizes, but he was taking out families because he didn't want to pay that small price. And for those that know, the cabecillas, they don't do the dirty work. They had this individual and his murder squad, as I already stated, who they were. Now, do please tell me where the values hold in this, where the rules and regulations as camaradas come into play. Now, keep in mind, while Popeye was a camarada and he was doing this, okay, firmes, he came to Mexico and he got involved with them, and he could have been a camarada doing it, right? But for the organization to actually look at their gang and minimize all this and bless him into the organization because what he could bring to the table, because he can bring bad in, right? And I want to leave this with the questions for everybody. I do understand the anger with a lot of people on when I spoke the truth about Bat, right? And disculpen if it bothers, right? And I do understand that way of thought that, oh, that's my big homie, right? You're this, and that, and it's okay, I'm not on here to be a toy in little kids' toy factory, right? So that everybody likes me. I'm on here to spread my message on what I know that's true. And, but, when a caliber of individual like Rivera that didn't touch his heart, he was dirty to the core. He literally gave the okay to take families out. Considers somebody not worthy trash. He's not trustworthy, which he did with Bat from San Diego, from Del Sol. It is why Bat got, basically put out to work instead of having that privilege as when Papa was alive. Cause let's be sincere, Papa was the one holding it down. The pillies that came after him were just the gatos, that in every sense, even the dirtiest individuals when it came to Mexico felt they weren't trustworthy. So that alone should speak on its own. Within time, this individual got busted and he spoke of what he was doing. Most importantly, everything came out as the camaradas that were there supporting him, Paul Boy, Bat, as who was the one that gave Popo his location because he got busted. Mind you, Popo was already gone. And I'll leave it open like that for you guys to kind of put your head around it or, look into it. But this is an individual that is minimized, that people don't really know about, right? Why? Because when they talk about Popo, Bat, the homies working for the Ardillas in Tijuana, they always talk about Popo being one of them security or right hand man, a direct brother, when again it's just misled lies to help you glorify someone or something more than how truth really is. But anyways, mi gente, it'll be short. I didn't want to start with this one, but I didn't want to start with something completely out of left field. I wanted to put something where it was associated with something you guys knew about. You know, I want to touch on people that were bigger than those that a lot of people seem to know. You know, with no judgment the way this one was. I can't stand Arellanos, I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, cause my stand against them, it could be damaged, hurtful for me, but it's okay, I'll never be okay with people that rape, kill kids, you know, and I don't understand why people still hold people to a pedestal when all they did was work with these individuals, right? They bent backwards pleasing this type of people. Not only that, but took proper steps and orders to support this acts. But again, you could call me a liar, no good, whatever. Just do please tell me what the definition of no good is. A rat, I ain't one. You know, I never locked it up. You know, I completed at least my thing till it was no longer tolerable, right? No longer was about hurting myself, but it was ricocheting to family. Again, it is why I'm on here even speaking, cause all the misled lies on how they paint things with flowers. You gotta know all the ins and outs to make your decision. At the end of the day, everybody's his own man. Ain't no man can tell no one what to do or how to go about their life, right? But just so you have a glimpse on how really things are. When I got to Mexico, there's a lot of backslash from a certain crew that belonged to appealing that I would touch on as soon as I get to the Mexican part of my story, and not a profile like this. Again, I'm not gonna concentrate on profiles, maybe 2, 3 a week, cause I do want my full story to be out, this coming week. Monday, the 10th, I start chemo, so I'm trying to get out as much so I can be in touch with you. Please tell me if this type of videos is okay or to your liking. If not, so I can go ahead and scratch it and just maintain in my main message. I just don't want to bore nobody or just, I want to be respectful and humble with everybody. I hope everybody understands. And do please stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. God bless. Buenas noches.